Welcome back to Video Waste Double Feature.
All right, welcome back to part 2. We're moving, if you watch part 1, then you know we're moving into Suburban Commando here on Double Feature. We just finished Psycho Goreman, so if you haven't watched that one yet, go check it out. It'll be up here or there. And catch up to what we're doing and what we thought of that movie. So here is Suburban Commando.
Yeah. Same
basic plot as Jerry so elegantly put it, fish out of water.
Yep.
Another, this guy's a good guy though.
Yes.
Technically, and Psycho Goreman is not. But still, crash landing on Earth, setting up with a family, and
shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, all right, with this one, who is your show stealer?
Hulk Hogan.
Really? Yeah.
I mean, I'll give
Christopher Lloyd a mention.
I'll give him a honorable mention and stuff. But I mean, your movie's about Hulk Hogan, and it's fucking like the only thing he didn't do is brother a motherfucker for an hour or sit there and like hot dog.
Yeah.
You know
what is this, a tag team?
Yeah. I mean, they did all that crap.
What is this, a grudge match?
Yeah.
Intergalactic grudge match.
Intergalactic grudge matches and stuff.
All right.
You guys would have watched No Holds Barred,
No, that would have been too meta.
Or they would have been watching WrestleMania and be like, I like this Hulk Hogan guy, shit like that.
Oh, he seems like he's a good dude, brother.
But yeah, I mean, the time that this movie came out, Hulk Hogan was the shit.
Yeah.
Until later on in my life, I learned out, no, he was just shit.
Yeah.
But
that's it. I mean, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that perfect, it's that lightning in a bottle moment where you're like, holy crap, I like Hulk Hogan and I like, space adventure. So yeah, why the fuck wouldn't this work?
I mean, I absolutely loved this movie as a kid. I fucking loved it so much.
Yeah.
But I saw it again last night. So there's that. So my show stealer, obviously, yes, Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, and honorable mention Christopher Lloyd.
You know what really fucks me up though about him in this movie is I've always just perceived him as old because of Doc.
Yeah.
And in this he has brown curly hair and he looks young and I'm just like, no, that's like his little brother, Frank Lloyd, He just does not seem like Christopher Lloyd other than the voice.
Yeah, it is very true, especially for people our age, because we never saw the super young one. Because even in this one, he's starting to gray, and he's starting to show his age. Yeah. So I've never seen him look younger. I might Google it after this just to see what the hell he looks like.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah,
showstopper. Adrian Belts, that fucking son of a bitch. I hate that guy. I don't even like Larry Miller as an actor. I hate his goddamn character. He looks like a fucking pedophile.
He plays the same thing in the same move different movies.
Yeah.
That fast talking guy who's like it's just like
yeah, exactly.
I get it the first time, but you don't need to keep bringing. But this movie is kind of sandboxed into the 90s where you're never going to get out of that 90s sandbox where it's oh, this movie was groundbreaking because it's timeless. No. This movie is fucking 90s as shit. And especially just this moment in 90s.
I really feel like they took the concept of an 80s movie and then said, but let's make it fresh.
Yeah.
And then they threw it up onto a table and was like, okay, look, it's good now. But yeah.
I just like.
Do you loathe this movie?
Huh?
Do you loathe this movie?
No, not at all. Like it is, like if we were to each year nominate the new cult classic movies, this would definitely be way more ahead than like fucking No Holds Barred or or Cabbage Patch Kids. Like I know everybody, they want to be like hip out there. They're like, have you seen the Cabbage Patch Kids movie or shit? And you're like, yeah,
fucking thing.
I've not the Garbage Pail. Sorry. And I'm like, yeah, I've seen it, but fuck that. Have you seen Suburban Commando?
Yeah,
that shit is great. But is it a breaker? No, the '90s trope stuff and whatnot. It's not really a breaker. Another thing that I really wish they would have changed is he has a gun. He just has guns. Like laser pew pew pews and shit.
Yeah.
Like why didn't they be like, no, we need to give him like a futuristic battle axe, Or like make him a barbarian in space. You have fucking Hulk Hogan. This isn't like Keanu Reeves playing like a gunslinging, laser wielding guy.
Samurai.
Yeah. Nah, you got Hulk Hogan. Make him like a barbarian,
Well, okay, so at the time, you got to take into account, you mentioned earlier, Hulk Hogan was on top of the world at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But he was family friendly.
Yeah.
And they had to keep that image. They had to keep him, like, they could show him as a badass, but they had to show him as a friendly, lovable badass, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he had laser guns because, it's easier than a brutal fucking axe or a laser sword that cuts people in half. And then you're just ripping off Star Wars. So, I think that the laser guns were probably the correct choice overall. True. But I do see your point.
I'll tell you what, though, like, battle axe.
And this thing was PG.
Yeah, battle axe and lasers. Yeah, those are, badass. But you know what's more badass?
A laser chainsaw?
No.
Okay.
When the guy pulls a piece of paper out of his little, like, coat pocket and then throws it at the bad guy's hand and it, like, cuts his hand off. I'm sitting there and literally that's one of the first times I've ever yelled at a screen. I'm sitting there like, you fucking kidding me? How did a piece of paper the president just took it out and was like, Shep or whatever. And then he just, and like, then his hand got cut off. And I was like, that's when a good, battle axe may have, helped you out.
They were setting up for Suburban Commando 2, where he attaches one of his laser chainsaws.
I have the most deadly weapon in the universe, card stock. What the fuck?
I think that it's safe to say we can skip over cinema.
Yeah, there's nothing. It's 90s.
Yeah. Even I'd go as far as to say the soundtrack as well. I mean, there's nothing that hits in this that,
bland.
Yeah, basically this is a very nostalgic movie, and I love it very much.
Yeah,
I see all of its flaws. I see it for what it is, but it is similarly related to Psycho Goreman.
Yeah,
so that's why this one got picked as well.
Exactly.
If you have one that you would have liked to seen go up against Psycho Goreman, please leave it in the comments section. And maybe we'll run this back. We'll see how it goes. The one thing that didn't make any sense was like how easily the Hulkster just acclimated to things. So in the movie, he doesn't know what a fucking chocolate cake is, but he ran into an arcade and beat the game immediately.
Yeah.
Like, just out of nowhere, like, oh, you gotta set the phasers, you can't let them get away, little brother.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And like the continuity of that was very like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't know how to eat chocolate cake, but he knows how to play this arcade game.
Hey, just shoot and
Yeah.
stuff. That's all he knows. I will say that this movie, all its stars that I'm giving it, goes to the ending and the fucking pants that Hulk Hogan wears at the end of that movie.
Yes.
With the tucked in blue shirt.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I have never wanted a
Uh,
pair of pants and vomit at the same time. Like, I was just sitting there just like watching it like, those are so cool.
What are they called? The Buttafuoco
I
pants or
have
something?
no clue what they're like Sinbad pants that were
Like zebra stripe type shit.
and they had like all types of like design patterns in every color that doesn't go together. I don't know, but they were
I
amazing.
think that they were initially men's like workout pants, like gym pants, but then they, as usual, like yoga pants for women, they translate right out. But yeah, I think they were called Buttafuoco pants or whatever because some Joey Buttafuoco or whatever
He
is
wore 'em.
fucking he wore them and he beat his wife or something.
Oh,
so
my God.
now they're those type of
Hey,
pants.
I don't care, but that needs to come back in style.
You can probably order them.
Probably, yeah, but I want to go to like J.C. Penney's and get those off the rack. Can we talk about the idea of this movie? Just kind of like it hits all its beats in the sense of it's just like, okay, so you have to go to Earth. Why don't you take some, or just relax? I can't relax. Okay, I'm just gonna relax, I guess. And like, and then it just like everything kind of just like, yep, the audience saw this coming a fucking mile away.
Again, I think that really plays into the Hulkster's character. Like the lovable, like WrestleMania winning, like they had to keep it family friendly, so they were stuck in this place where it was like, nah, dude, you can't do anything wild, crazy, or insane. Like, it was kind of fucking cool to watch him spin that car, though.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, yeah, no, he really grabbed that fucking car
did.
and rolled it over. And not only that, he fucking spun it on its top. Like, and not even just so that it went, like, it went, Well, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot how huge he actually was.
Oh yeah, man. This was before like the Royd trial was coming in. He was all jacked. Another thing that I really like also about this movie is when he goes to the apartment, when when Shelley Duvall like puts the apartment, it just says apartment for rent this way. Like,
I know exactly where you're talking
yeah,
about.
a fucking address would have been nice, Shelley.
Yeah. Well, she was already fucked up from the last place that she was.
And then like the mime, there's a bit that keeps playing. Like the writers on this were genius, where they were like, a mime in the middle of the night,
in an alleyway, like
just doing his like little gig, and then like,
well, where do you practice your miming?
Yeah, and Hulk Hogan's like, I'll help him. And the mime's like, hey, fuck you, buddy, keep the rope or whatever. And that's when my brain just turns off and was like, I do like this movie a lot.
It made you go stupid.
Yeah,
and you're just like, no way, I
fucking
do like
stupid. But yeah, anything else about this that like not mentioning Psycho Gorman things that you liked about this movie? Maybe.
No.
Oh.
How many stars do you give this?
3.5 too. I give this one 3.5. Mostly for the pants, but also just how much like I really liked it. And it's once more 3.5. Like I couldn't give it 4. I kind of like
I really, really like this movie. 2 stars.
Yeah, 2 stars. Fuck you, Hulk Hogan. Thanks for holding down Macho Man. But yeah, it's a 3.5. I couldn't give it that little extra, just like Psycho Gorman, because I think when we talk about the blending, I think Psycho Gorman could have used a little something from Suburban Sasquatch and Suburban Commando.
Yeah.
And Suburban Commando could have used a little bit more from Psycho Gorman. You know, the dialogue.
These movies are literally almost 20 years apart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's an evolution,
Yeah.
you know. I guarantee if you talk to the director of Psycho Gorman, he would be like, "Yeah, I loved Suburban Commando as a kid." But anyways, for me, yeah, I feel like 3.5 is a fair rating on this one. I do love it, and I could very easily be comfortable with giving it 5. But after watching it freshly last night and not going on my memory as a child, yeah, it's a 3.5 star movie.
Yeah.
But that's Suburban Commando. So let's move into talking about both these movies. Let's move into the combination. Let's compare, contrast, and that will be part 3 coming right up.